Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to our live. Today we are going to do something really fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. I don't know how many people are on yet, but let's just get started and have some fun. I want to thank Darren again. Darren's so good about helping me with moderating the comments. I really appreciate him. Thank you, Ben. Go. Thank you. We'll have to do another one again soon, huh, together?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to move my tablet so I can see where I'm at. Sorry, hang on one sec. I ran out of space. Okay. So today we are going to play with a stencil. It's a basket weave stencil, and we are going to make kind of a fall card. I think it's getting to be, I know it's still really hot here in Phoenix, but it's kind of fun to start thinking about a change in the weather. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera view. All right. Hopefully that is in about the right spot.
Hello.
Hi Ken, how you doing? How are things in your neck of the woods? All right, I think we are just about where we want to be. Yep, okay. I just wanted to double check that before I got going. So, first off, I should probably have left the camera the other way because I have to tell you something funny first. So, I've been cleaning my craft room, and if you have a craft room and you're a major crafter, you know what an ordeal that can be and how time-consuming and extensive that can be, especially depending on how long you've been crafting. Thankfully, I've moved several times over the past few years, and so I've cleaned out my stash a little bit more and more all the time. But I still have some things like, I came across this big stack of photo paper that my father had given to me. And I actually had some that another friend had given me. But I want to tell you something cute about my dad. My dad, right now he's in an assisted... Oh, it's rainy. Oh, that sounds really nice here. I would love some more rain over here, but we did get a little bit over the weekend. But right now it's, how hot is it today, Darren?
118.
It's 118 today. So, little hot here. But anyway, so one thing about my dad is that he always loved to find treasures. Whether that be at a yard sale or... sometimes it was the side of the road. Sometimes he really loved going to a local thrift store where I used to live. It was called Deseret Industries. And so that was his favorite. And actually, in the last few years before he went to the assisted care center, he would go there almost every day because he loved it so much. But the funny thing is, but why I even say this is because he was so cute. He always was looking for something for me. He would always try to find me treasures, and he would find me these fun punches and stamps and stuff like that. But the funny thing is that sometimes my dad would bring me home a treasure, and we didn't live in a huge town. And so sometimes the treasure ended up being something that I myself had donated the same week. So sometimes he rebought the stuff that I donated. But that's the kind of dad I have. He just was so sweet. He was always trying to think of fun ways to surprise me. But anyway, after that little story, that is where I ended up with this big stack of photo paper. And you can see it kind of has a little bit of a curve in it. But, you know, once you make your card and you tack it down, it doesn't matter. I cut it down because I think it has some age to it. So, I don't know. I just cut it down so I could kind of salvage it a little bit, and I just made card panels. And it's kind of fun because you can use it like the glossy paper. I'm not sure exactly, to be honest with you. I don't know all the differences. I do know that it has some sort of a finish on it. But I think that the techniques that I'm using today would probably work on if you have photo paper in your stash, or if you have some glossy cardstock. I can't imagine why that would be too much different, but there is the possibility that it could. So I just wanted to put that little disclaimer out. And we are going to use this stencil, and I love this stencil. It's called Basket Weave, and it makes the coolest pattern. So I know you've heard me talk about the Pixie Spray, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna spray a little of that on here. And I just like to have a little pan or something that kind of absorbs some of the spray. I think you could probably even do it from a little further away, but I'm limited on my space a little bit, so we'll just call that good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put that over my paper. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use my purple tape to tack the whole thing down. How is everyone? And if you are watching, go ahead and say hi. Don't be shy, because I would love to say hi back. Okay. Darren, I didn't ask you if you had put that on the other page.
Yep, done.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right. Also, if you are watching on YouTube and you're watching the replay, thank you so much for doing that. And I do respond to your comments. So if you have a comment, you can still leave one on there and I'll answer your questions. Okay. So we've got all of this set up and ready to go. We are going to use, this is, as you know, if you've watched any of my videos, this is one of my favorite tools ever. And this is by Pink and Main. They are carried through Brutus Monroe. It's the Ergonomic blending brush. And if you don't have one yet, you need one. We are going to use that with our brown, our orange, and our pink aqua pigments. And these are just kind of like a watercolor type of, they're water-based pigment basically. So we're just going to get some of our orange, and we're just gonna, I think I did, maybe you can kind of see how much I used on there. And it seems weird to add a little pink, but I wanted kind of a lighter beige color, and to give it a little bit of a peachy feel, I'm just gonna add a little bit of pink to that.
Says hello.
Glenda or Linda?
Glenda.
Glenda. Hi, Glenda. I am so sorry. Darren is across the room and I am standing right by our air conditioner. So every now and then it's kind of hard for me to hear him. So I don't always hear him the first time. Okay, and so then we're just going to add a little bit of brown to that. I think I added 3 drops, 4 drops. We'll try 4 drops first. And now I'm just going to use just a regular paintbrush just to kind of mix that together. I think that's going to be about the right color. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take my blending brush and I'm going to get some of that color on there. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix that all in. And I'm going to start off of it and kind of work my way on. Now, as I was talking about before, it does have kind of a funny finish on it, that photo paper. So you're going to see some different variants. But when you think of a basket, especially if it's a wooden basket, it has different variances in it. And that's kind of what I liked about this. So depending on how long you're blending, see if I keep going, it starts to wipe the color off. And I'm okay with that because it just kind of slides the pigment over to different areas. And that's okay. And I may have to mix up some more color here in a second, but so far we're okay. But you really almost can't get this wrong. I know I'm tempting fate by saying that, especially because I'm live, but you know, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna live on the edge. And the nice thing also is that this aqua pigment, it dries pretty fast, even on this glossy paper. So I think we'll get a little bit more color, see if we can get a little bit more of it onto onto our panel. And you're really going to want to wash your brush out, because whatever this finish stuff is, I don't know enough about the chemistry of photo paper, but I know that I want my brush to stay nice, so I washed mine out really well right after I used it. And you can kind of decide how dark you want to go. You could go darker, and if you keep rubbing, it'll get lighter, so you can just kind of play with it and see what you think. I think I want to add a little bit more and see what it does. We'll add a little bit of this. Let's add a little bit more of this orange. So it's fun to see all of the fun fall products that are coming out. Right now, some of the really pretty ones at Brutus Monroe that I've seen. There's a fun Halloween box. If you jump on it fast, you might still be able to get one. It's chock full, I know, of all kinds of goodies. I haven't seen them all yet, but those boxes never disappoint. They always have lots in them. See, I put a little bit more on there, but it's actually wiping the color off, and that's okay, because it's still going to have plenty of color in the crevices. So mostly I'm just trying to even it out a little bit. So yeah, I kind of like it better when I don't rub it all off, but I think the first one I did, I rubbed quite a bit of it off, so we're still fine, but it's hard to say until we actually reveal what we've got underneath all this. And you know, if you don't like it,
say hello to his granddaughter Madison. She's watching.
Oh, I know who Madison is. I've seen lots of pictures of Madison. She's a cutie. Hi, Madison. Madison, are you in school now? They're doing virtual learning here in the US. So my boy is doing his school over his computer. Okay, yeah, I think we'll add a little bit more. We'll see what it does. It's still kind of an experiment, but you know.
Ken said she said hi.
Ah, thanks.
No, not in school.
Not in school. Well, it's still a little early in the season, huh? Okay. So yeah, at least I'm kind of getting a more even color now. So you can see you can get all kinds of variants, and just depending on how long you want to do your layering. But I think we're about done with this. I just want to even it out a little more, and then we'll see what we've got. Now, if I used regular paper, obviously it wouldn't rub back off. It's that that photo paper finish that's kind of creating this. All right. Let's kind of take a look. I just want to... I have to learn not to fuss so much. I like to just keep fussing, and sometimes that's to my detriment. Let's just kind of see. I think we've kind of evened it out a little. Let's see what we have come up with here.
Belinda says they're face-to-face in Goddard, Texas.
Oh, wow.
Gallup, Texas. So they're going to school.
They're going right to school.
Jana says hi.
Hi, Jana. Okay, so you can see there's some variation around it. And you can see how if you get it on there and you don't mess around with it too much, you can have a darker color. Hi, Linda.
Belinda.
Belinda. Oh, yeah, you mentioned Belinda a minute ago, so you threw me off. And you can see as you rub it, if you want less of the color on there, you can do it that way. So there is our panel. I'm going to just go ahead and go on to the next step, which is, so I trimmed this down. Let me take this guy off really quick. And I went ahead and I matted it on this brown. And you can see, I mean, whenever you mix your colors, you're going to get different variations. I must have used more orange today, but I like them both. I would use either one of those. So here's the other funny thing about going through my stash, which I highly recommend. So the next item I'm about to show you, I think I have had in my stash for well over a decade. I think I've had it for possibly 20 years, maybe not quite that long. Do any of you recognize this stuff? It's kind of sticky on one side. This is called Magic Mesh. And if you have been crafting for very long, especially scrapbooking or card making, then you likely had some in your stash at some point. And I just had to laugh because I didn't even know I still had this. But I thought, see, it comes in smaller mesh too. But I thought it would be kind of fun to use some of this on this card. And it just made me laugh. It made me want to use it up since I obviously have had it a while. It's probably time to use it or lose it. I usually don't keep things that long, but I do have a few little items like that. What is the oldest item you have in your craft stash?
Janice said she has some too.
Isn't that funny?
She got hers at the hardware department.
Oh, wow.
And Belinda said she has some as well.
See, I knew I couldn't be the only one.
Ken said, wow, 20 years.
I know, it's been a long time. I didn't even realize I'd been scrapbooking that long, but I was thinking about it, and Darren and I will be married for 20 years this year. And yeah, I was scrapbooking before I knew Darren, so it's been a long time. So I'm hoping that will stick. It's not too bad of adhesive if it sticks after that long, huh? Let's see, I'm going to move it over a little. I don't have it on there quite as straight as I want. Okay, so we're just going to move that over a little bit. And now we've got all these fun little pieces we want to put together.
Some as well.
Oh yeah, Ken? All right. I'm not sure if Ken's teasing me. I think he might be.
Belinda says she started scrapbooking in 1998.
That is the year that my oldest was born. And I actually was even scrapbooking before that. But you know, when you have a child, that definitely intensifies your scrapbooking, right? So I probably did more scrapbooking that year than ever.
Ken said Madison keeps sending you messages, so maybe from her.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this little set, I have brought it up before, but I'm just going to show you again because I love it. This little set is just this little power die set. It's just so versatile. I go to it all the time, and you can just do so much with it. It's called, I think it's called Flower Builder. Darren?
What?
Flower Builder?
Yes.
Darren's so good. He helps me know the names. I always forget. So we're going to use various pieces from this. I already cut them out. And I've got a couple of them put together. And we're just going to put together the rest of our card. So I think we'll maybe put this little guy on there. I did want to show you a little bit about shaping flowers. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't put it together ahead of time. So if you have some sort of a tool, like a bone folder or a crease tool, if you just take the edge of that and run it across the edges of your flower.
John is on and he said he loves that set.
Hi, John. It's a great set, isn't it? So you see, it went from just kind of a flat little flower, which was cute all by itself, but now you've got more dimension and it gives you that nice depth to your card. So we're just going to go ahead and add a couple more layers to this, and I'm going to do the same thing with this tiny little flower that we're going to layer it with. And these flowers are so cute. You could use them by themselves. You could put two of the same size together. In this case, I'm putting the smaller one inside of the bigger one. And then on this one, I wanted to add just a little bit more dimension between the little bud and the bigger bud, the bigger part of the flower. I don't know exactly what you call it. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that right in the center. And then I've got just a little enamel dot I'm going to use for the middle of that. So we've got these guys ready to go. And now we're just going to make these little kind of something like a sunflower. So we're going to go ahead, and one thing that's kind of fun that adds just a little bit more to your flower is if you want to take, in this case I'm going to use some Simon Hurley ink. It's called Slippery When Wet, and I've just got this little blending brush that is perfect for this because these are kind of little and I don't want to be too heavy-handed on them. I thought this might be a little rough to work with. So I'm just going to go ahead and go along just the edges of the petal, just to give it a little bit more oomph. I'll just go across all of those really quick. I love sunflowers. I love that this time of year we see so many of them. Whoops. They're just so cheery and happy, and heaven knows we can use some of that, right? All right, so I've almost got all my little edges. We gotta just get this one little guy. Keep putting my thumb in my ink pad. Okay, if you don't get the ink on you, you know, it's not a good crafting session. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set that aside so I don't continue to put my hands in it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with just the outer petals. Just going to go ahead and curve them up just a little. And you want to go really light, because if you hold on too tight when you do it, then you will easily rip these little guys out. And we're not doing loves me not. We just want to keep it, just add a little bit of curve and a little bit of life into them. So we've got, I think we've got enough going on with that one now. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing with this one. And like I said, it's just a really light movement. And Benji is going to check the mail because I'm expecting something from Brutus Monroe. Hopefully I can show you. Our mail is kind of unpredictable. We never know exactly what time it's going to come. It's been coming pretty late, but today I think it's here. So you will know shortly with me. Okay, so now we're just going to use a little glue dot. Oh, this is the center. This is this little guy. And we're just going to use one of those. And when I have little pieces like this, and I have more than one flower that I'm going to be assembling, I just put them right on my glue dots so that I don't lose them while I'm assembling. You're probably smart enough to figure that out on your own, but you know, I didn't do it right off the bat, so. And then I'm just going to go ahead and curve the edges on this little center too, and then we'll have all of our edges curved. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, so I didn't feel like this one needed as much. Oh, nope, I lied to you. I did put one on there. Okay, so we have, I think we have enough of those little, we do, we have just the right amount. So we've got our little foam circles we can use. And we will add that to our little blossoms. right. So now we've got our little sunflowers on there. So that looks a little flat, don't you think? It needs something else. It needs its leaves. So we are going to go ahead and add our leaves. And I love these. These are just perfect. So actually, I think it'll be easier if I put the whole thing on first. Let's just get that out of the way. So I'm going to use my tissue tape. So this tissue tape is awesome. It's very, very sticky.
I think it's Ken, but I'm not sure. But he said, I'd love to buy one, but I'm not sure I'm allowed.
To buy one.
The flower dye thing.
Oh, the flowers? Yeah. Yep, you definitely want to make sure you're allowed before you do anything like that.
It might be his granddaughter speaking, I'm not sure.
Okay. It's always good to make sure, huh? It's a good lesson for all of us. Okay. So now we've got that ready to go. Now we can start building this. I think we'll just go ahead and put our sentiment all the way to the right.
Janice says she loves it. The colors are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so we're just going to add that. I think we'll put it right in the center. And now we can do our building. And I usually, for me, I think it's easier to put the blossoms in and then add the leaves. Just kind of have to play with them and see where you like them. I wonder if I have too many. No, I think we might do. I think I like it like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our glue dots. Oh, did we get mail? Okay. Thank you very much, son. So we'll get to that in just a minute. And now we will add...
Oh, sorry.
What's that?
Ken clarified. Madison's talking about one of my shirts.
Oh, you do have cool shirts. Okay. And let's do this. And I do want to thank you. I know so many of you are so sweet, and I appreciate you following the affiliate links and supporting me that way. That is so nice of you. I don't always know because it doesn't tell me who buys from me or anything. So please let me know when you do, because I would love to be able to thank you. And I do appreciate that so much. And Darren does too, and he runs into the same issue. So if you purchase from either one of us, then we would love to be able to thank you. Okay, so I also found this cute little bow, and I'm not sure, do we need the bow? Do we like the bow? Is the bow too much? Gotta play with the bow for a minute before we decide. I'm not sure if we need the bow. Let's go ahead and do the greenery first, and then we'll go from there. I'm missing, there we go. I knew I was missing one of my little stems. So honestly, glue probably would work as well as anything else. But because these are fast, they're great to use on alive. I do love me some glue dots. Okay. So see, it's starting to come together. I think we need one right around here. I like a lot of green. I don't know about you, but I like to make sure they're very leafy. I think we need this last one. Do we want it there? Yeah, I think it'll be better up there. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna use that bow. It'll go back in my stash, hopefully not for 20 years, huh? That one hasn't been in my stash near as long as that mesh. I think we about have it. I think I want to move it up just a little. And then just kind of fluff it up a little bit. The only bummer is when you need to put something like this in an envelope, because I didn't realize I was so far off to the side. I'm so sorry, I forget to look. Because it kind of smushes everything down. But if you are giving something to somebody face to face, then that makes it a little easier. So this is, I think we've just about covered it. I think you could actually put a little bit of, you could get a little pen and you could make a little outline around the edge of your sentiment if you wanted to. You could fleck a little bit of your different watercolors or even your aqua pigment. In fact, I'm a little leery because last time I did that and it went right over the top of my sentiment, like the actual word. If I do it, I think I'll go ahead and mask it a little bit. I think we might want to put just a little bit of this on it. Gonna take a chance, guys. What do you think? We'll try flicking a little bit of it on there. Everybody cross your fingers for me.
Madison thinks your card's beautiful.
Oh, Madison, thank you so much. I just like that it kind of breaks it up a little bit when you put a little bit of splatter on there. And I'm okay with it getting on the flowers. I just don't want it to be right on the top of, I don't want it to mess with the word too much. The words. Okay, so this Thinking of You set is actually from the, I know I've shown it a million times, but you can see I've used it a million times because it's so versatile. This is the Extra Sentimental stamp set, and I will show you the card and then I'll show you what I got in the mail today. I'm sorry if it's backwards. I know it's kind of crazy. I haven't figured out how to get it where you can see exactly what it says, but it does say Thinking of You. And it's just a fun little card. And then, so I'm just going to hurry and open this up. And what this is I have talked about the Squeaky Clean. And Brutus Monroe just came out with some new fall scents. If you have not tried Squeaky Clean, it's kind of just a fun...
Janice says it's a beautiful card.
Oh, thank you so much. This is my favorite stuff. It's my favorite stamp cleaner I ever got. Oh, I did get, this is a embossing folder that Brutus Monroe is carrying in their store right now. You can see it's really pretty. And it's called Web Pattern, which is kind of cool because I think it's really pretty and elegant. But you could also make it really spooky and Halloween-y if you wanted to. Is Halloween-y a word?
Works for me.
Okay, so these are the new scents. This one, and I've never smelled these, so you guys get to be part of this. This is Candy Corn, and this is Cinnamon Apple. He has two other ones I haven't smelled yet. They are Bonfire, and the other one is called, oh, it's just a little bit leaked, just a little. The other one is called Pumpkin Donut, I believe. All right, let's see what we think. And this is another thing. I love the way he packs well, I'm sure he doesn't do it himself personally, but how Brutus Monroe packs up your product, because if it does, in the event that it does leak a little bit, and this doesn't, I haven't had anything be too crazy anyway, but it's contained, so it doesn't mess everything up. Okay, so let's smell this one. This one's the cinnamon apple. And you know what? We'll just move our little dies over and we'll clean our, may as well put it to work, right? And it's not toxic. And oh my goodness, this smells so good. This makes me kind of hungry though. Cinnamon apple. It smells just like apple pie. Oh, and it is actually cinnamon apple pie, which makes sense, right? So if you use that, I actually like to use the microfiber cloth with mine, and it just does an amazing job, and it's so nice to have just that extra scent. If you love like Bath and Body Works and stuff like that, I love stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, it's like having Bath and Body Works in your craft room. It's so nice. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna let that scent dissipate a little bit, and I'm knocking stuff on the floor. Let me pick that up. Okay, so now we're gonna try out the candy corn. And I'm sure I didn't do an amazing job, so I'm sure I could find more to clean on here. I'm going to spray a little on my hand. Oh my goodness. That smells equally good. That is, oh man. I love them both. I'm not surprised. I've loved every scent that I've gotten so far. But yeah, I'm hoping I get a chance to try the bonfire and the pumpkin donut too, because these two are amazing. So yeah, Squeaky Clean, if you haven't used it before, it's wonderful. Like I said, it's not toxic. It cleans really, really well. It actually cleans my acrylic stamps better than anything I've ever, not acrylic, but polyphotomer, I can't say it just right. So you know what I'm saying though, right? It's the best cleaner by far that I've ever come across. All right, I think that's everything. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, well, I am going to flip you guys back the other way so I can, oh, I've done something. Am I still on? Yes. Oh, there we go. I don't know what I did. I hit something.
Linda Bowler just joined.
Hi, Linda. You caught me just in time for me to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you've found something fun to do and maybe you're inspired to create in your own craft room. I actually went to, Jana had a live earlier and she was showing off her craft room, and my favorite thing she said made me laugh because it was so true. When you can't get in your craft room, there's nothing you want more than to create. And sometimes when it's just readily accessible to you, it's harder to get your mojo going. And I thought that was really cute. Anyway, I wanted to tell you thanks once again for joining me, and I will see you again next Wednesday. Bye.